No matter if you know it or not, life is always teaching those who are willing to learn. The sad thing is that most people miss the lessons that are right in front of them. In this video though, I'll show you 5 lessons about money that will change your life. First, learn the difference between assets and liabilities. Every business and person's balance sheet is based on their assets and their debts. Even though these two things are different, they should both be used to make the future more prosperous. Now, if you don't know what assets and liabilities are, let me quickly explain what they are. Accounting basics say that assets have the potential to bring in money now or in the future. On the other hand, liabilities are debts you have to pay off in the near or far future. In short, assets bring in money, while liabilities take money out of your pockets. Now, before I explain how both assets and liabilities can make a big difference in your financial life, I need to clear up some confusion about a few things that many people have but don't know how to classify. The first is your main home, which many people mistakenly think of as an asset. Most people will say that their home is their best investment if you ask them. Even though your home does increase in value over time, it has more qualities that make it a liability than an asset. For example, if you own a home, you always have to spend money on it for things like repairs, renovations, taxes, etc. And don't forget that I just said that liabilities are things that cost you money. This same example can be used for other personal property, such as cars and boats, which are listed as assets on your balance sheet but hurt your efforts to get ahead financially. On the other hand, we have liabilities, which are also called debts. Unfortunately, most people have learned to look down on these powerful financial tools. Yes, some kinds of debt like credit card and auto loan debt can be bad for your finances, but if you use some kinds of debt the right way, they can help your finances a lot. For example, if you get a mortgage with low interest, you can use the money to buy a rental property that will not only go up in value over time, but also pay you every month. Now you might be wondering why I shouldn't just buy these things with my own money. Here are 2 reasons why this might not be the best way to spend your money. First, most people don't have enough money to buy assets that bring in money such as real estate, businesses, or dividend stocks. Second, everything you do costs you something else. When you buy stocks with cash, you can't use that cash to buy a house. So, if you take on low-cost debt, you can get more leverage, buy more assets, and improve your financial situation over time in a big way. Lesson number 2. Realize how much it costs to look rich. Believe it or not, keeping up with the Joneses has been a part of many people's lives long before the internet. People seem to try to be like other people or buy things that are not only unnecessary, but also too expensive for them. Sadly, many people are obsessed with spending all the money they've worked for just to keep up. Let's be honest, the internet has only made it harder to keep up with everyone else. Seeing pictures of matches and fast cars all the time can make you want to buy an expensive phone, new clothes, or a high-priced handbag. Basically trying to get you to buy things that don't matter. But even though these things might not seem necessary, people need to use common sense right now to avoid living beyond their means. You need to put your life under a microscope and figure out how much money you spend trying to look rich. Personal finance experts usually say that you shouldn't spend more than 28% of your income on your home. If you spend more than that, you're simply living beyond your means. A lot of people spend a lot of money on themselves and their friends every weekend, and sometimes they don't have enough money for their household bills. This is a financially unhealthy habit. One way to find out if this is happening is to think about how you spend your money now and figure out how much you spend. Review your last month's spending, especially on things like going out to eat, buying too much from friends, going to clubs, and shopping. After that, look at the rest of your life. If you have trouble paying for your utilities or other household costs, you need to change how you spend your money. As you already know, you can work for a month and make a lot of money, but still have nothing to show for it. This is usually because you don't keep track of how much you spend. Now, luckily, there is a way to fix this, and it's called a budget. At a high level, figure out how much you make after taxes, and then make a list of all your costs. When you have a net number, you can start to see how bad or good your spending really is. Then, add in how much you want to save and change your spending to match. Getting back to the need to appear wealthy. Who cares if your neighbor bought a new car or a friend bought a bigger, more expensive home? I can promise you that having money at the end of the month and not having to worry about bills will make you feel 100 times better than getting another thing you don't need. Remember that your financial journey is your own and not someone else's, so you can be excited about your life no matter what others have. Lesson 3 is about how to use good debt. Well, it's sad to say that many people think that debt is always bad and should be avoided at all costs. They learn that it's smart to pay off their debt and stay out of debt, which is true to some extent. But there are good debts and bad debts, and it would be smart to get out of bad debt or never get into it. Simply put, bad debt takes money out of your pocket, while good debt gives you money. Now, you might be wondering how that can be used for good. I'll tell you in a second, but for now, hit the like button so you can avoid bad debts in the future. Credit card debt is a bad debt for 2 reasons. First, it is usually used to buy things that lose value over time. Things like cars, big screen TVs, and vacations fall into this category. The interest rates on credit cards, auto loans, and instant loans are the second reason why they are bad. Using these kinds of debt can leave you buried in interest payments, making it almost impossible to get out of debt. With good debt, though, it's the other way around. Most of the time, these debts are used to buy assets that make money and have much lower interest rates. This is why the rich use debt to get ahead. They use other people's money, which comes from both the bank and investors. OPM is a real thing and a sign of good money sense. By using good debt, you can increase your return on investment by a lot because you'll have more money to buy assets that will make money or go up in value over time. So, when you find a good investment, you can either put your own money into it or use money from other people. If you set up the deal well, the more other people's money you use, the more you will make back. Many people think it's a fantasy world where people will just give you money to invest, but that can be further from the truth. Most people just don't have the time to look for good deals. Instead, they rely on people with the right financial education, skills, and drive to make these deals happen. Lesson number 4 is to learn how to be patient. Many people who want to start their own business decide to go ahead with a new plan and want to see great results as soon as possible. This can mean both growth and making money. Even though some businesses may do well quickly, in most cases, good business results don't happen quickly. Slow and steady wins the race, as the saying goes. Patience is a trait that can help you succeed in business, whether you're just starting out or getting ready to start a new one. On the other hand, being impatient can make you less likely to succeed. To encourage patience, you must set realistic expectations. If your business plan is reasonable, you can fix your budget and set up ways to spend money that match your goals. Now, if you want quick wins most of the time, don't worry. This is how most people are. It's natural to want to make money as soon as possible, but hiring people who are patient when they feel this way can help you avoid problems and better use the money you have. Your level of motivation is also an important part of having realistic expectations. If you want to see growth right away, you might be disappointed if you only see slow or no growth. So, if you expect slow growth and small changes, you may be more encouraged by steady growth. In fact, how patient you are can affect how motivated you are and how you see your business activities as a whole. Remember that finding a niche and becoming the best in that niche is a key part of being successful. So, if you focus too much on fast growth, you might not be able to give your business a strong base. This covers everything, from processes to employees to customers. If your customers don't stick with you, your business is more likely to fail. It is often cheaper to keep happy customers than to find new ones. Lesson number 5 is to learn how to take risks. Taking risks in life is a skill we learn even before we start walking. When a baby is ready to move from crawling to walking around the house safely, that first step is a big risk for them to take. Most of the time, this first risk fails, and then the child makes a choice. Am I trying too hard even though I know there's a risk? I know it might sound strange to think that babies think that much, but the point is that a risk is a part of life whether you like it or not. Every person uses this skill in some way to help them make the best choice for themselves. The most important thing to remember about this topic is that if you use it correctly, the results are much better than if you act carelessly. So, what should you do? Throughout our lives, we make decisions that take us in new and different directions. These decisions shape our lives and how we see the world. Self-reflection is one of the best ways to improve your ability to deal with risks. If you take the time to look inside and ask yourself why you're making certain decisions, you'll start the evaluation process, which will lead you to the path of risk management. When used right, this is something that can help us make our lives better. Thank you so much for watching. Before you leave, be sure to click like and smash the subscribe and notification buttons. Share this video with your friends and family to help yourself and others learn valuable lessons that'll make you grow and succeed in life. See you guys in the next one.